Have you ever walked into a room and completely forgotten why you went in there? Or maybe you've noticed it's a little harder to recall a name or a word that used to come to you in a snap. If you're nodding along, you're not alone. As we get older, especially after 65, those little memory hiccups can start to feel more frequent, and sometimes, they make us wonder if there's something bigger going on. Maybe you've even thought about dementia and what it could mean for your future. Well, I've got some good news for you today. You don't have to just sit back and let those worries take over. There are things you can do right now, simple, everyday habits, that can help keep your brain sharp and lower your chances of facing dementia down the road. So, picture this, you're sitting down with a cup of coffee or tea, and we're just chatting about how to keep your mind humming along as strong as ever. That's what this is all about. We're going to walk through 4 daily habits that you can start today, no fancy equipment, no big life overhauls, just practical steps that fit right into your routine. These aren't just random tips either, they're backed by science and tailored for folks like us who want to enjoy our golden years with a clear head and a happy heart. Ready to dive in? Let's get started with the first habit, because it's one you're going to love, and it's easier than you might think. Welcome to Golden Seniors Living, where we share practical tips, inspiring stories, and expert advice to help you live your best life after 60. Join our community of empowered seniors and discover ways to stay healthy, happy, and independent. Subscribe now and start living your golden years to the fullest. Now, the first habit is all about moving your body. I know, you might be thinking, oh, here we go with the exercise talk again. But hang on, this isn't about running marathons or lifting heavy weights at the gym. We're talking about gentle, doable movement that feels good and keeps your brain firing on all cylinders. See, when you move, you're not just helping your muscles or your heart, you're giving your brain a big boost too. Studies show that regular physical activity increases blood flow to your brain, which helps it grow new cells and stay healthy. And here's the kicker, people who stay active as they age are less likely to develop dementia. Pretty amazing, right? So, what does this look like in real life? It could be as simple as a 20-minute walk around your neighborhood. Maybe you wave to a neighbor, listen to the birds, or just enjoy the fresh air. If walking's not your thing, how about some light stretching while you watch your favorite show? You could even sway to some music in your kitchen, think of it as a little dance party for one. The key is to do something you enjoy, because if it feels like a chore, you won't stick with it. I've got a friend, Mary, who's 68, and she swears by her morning strolls with her dog. She says it's not just about the exercise, it's her time to clear her head and start the day feeling good. And guess what? She's as sharp as ever, always beating me at cards. The trick is to aim for about 20 to 30 minutes a day, most days of the week. You don't have to do it all at once either, split it up if that's easier. Maybe 10 minutes in the morning and 10 in the afternoon. And if you're thinking, but my knees aren't what they used to be, don't worry. You can sit in a chair and do arm lifts or leg extensions, anything that gets you moving counts. It's like giving your brain a little wake-up call every day, telling it, hey, we're still in the game. So, what do you say? Could you sneak a little movement into your day tomorrow? I bet you'll feel the difference, not just in your body, but up here too, in that brilliant mind of yours. Now, while we're on the topic of keeping things flowing, let's talk about the second habit, feeding your brain the right fuel. You know how you feel after a big, heavy meal, like you just want to nap on the couch? Well, your brain feels that too. What you eat doesn't just affect your waistline, it plays a huge role in how well your mind works. After 65, giving your brain the good stuff can help protect it from decline and keep dementia at bay. So, we're not talking about some strict diet where you're counting every calorie or giving up everything you love. This is about adding in some delicious, brain-friendly foods that make you feel great. Imagine your plate filled with colors, bright berries, leafy greens, maybe some grilled salmon or a handful of nuts. These aren't just tasty, they're packed with nutrients that your brain craves. Take blueberries, for example. They're little powerhouses full of antioxidants that fight off damage to your brain cells. Or how about spinach? It's loaded with vitamins that help keep your memory sharp. And don't get me started on fish like salmon. It's got omega-3s, which are like a shield for your brain, keeping it strong and flexible. I've got a neighbor, Tom, who's 72, and he started swapping out his usual fried snacks for a handful of walnuts every afternoon. He says he feels more alert, and he's even started doing the crossword again, something he hadn't touched in years. So, how do you make this work for you? Start small. Maybe add a piece of fruit to your breakfast, slice up an orange or toss some berries into your oatmeal. For lunch, throw a handful of spinach into a sandwich or salad. And if you're a snacker like me, keep some nuts or seeds handy instead of reaching for the chips. It's not about perfection, it's about giving your brain a little love every day. You don't have to overhaul your whole kitchen either. Just pick one or two things to try this week. What's your favorite food that might already be brain-friendly? I'd love to hear about it, maybe it'll inspire me too. And here's a little bonus, staying hydrated ties right into this. Your brain's mostly water, so even a little dehydration can make you feel foggy. Keep a glass of water nearby and sip it throughout the day. It's such an easy win, and it pairs perfectly with those good foods you're adding in. You'll be amazed at how much clearer your head feels when you're not running on empty. So, with moving your body and feeding your brain, you're already building a solid foundation. Let's keep that momentum going and explore how a good night's sleep can take this even further. Alright, let's keep this conversation rolling, because we're on a roll already with keeping that brain of yours in tip-top shape. You've got the movement going, maybe picturing yourself strolling through the park or swaying to some tunes, and you're adding those brain-boosting foods like berries and nuts into your day. It's like you're setting up a little daily routine that says, hey, I'm taking charge here. And I'm so glad you're with me on this, because the next habit we're diving into is something we all love but don't always get enough of, sleep. Oh yes, a good night's rest isn't just about feeling refreshed in the morning, it's a secret weapon for dodging dementia, and it's one you can start using tonight. Now, I bet you've had those nights where you're tossing and turning, or maybe you wake up feeling like you barely closed your eyes. It happens to the best of us, especially as we get older. But here's why sleep is such a big deal. While you're dreaming about that beach vacation or replaying a sweet memory, your brain's busy doing some serious housekeeping. It's clearing out toxins, sorting through the day's events, and strengthening those connections that keep your memory sharp. Scientists have found that folks who don't get enough quality sleep, or who skimp on it regularly, have a higher risk of dementia later on. It's like your brain needs that downtime to recharge and stay in fighting shape. So, what's enough sleep for us over 65? Most experts say aiming for 7 to 8 hours a night is the sweet spot. Not 5, not 10, somewhere in that cozy middle ground. I know it's easier said than done sometimes, right? Maybe the grandkids were over late, or you got caught up in a good book. But let's make it simple. Think about your evening like a wind-down ritual. Picture this, it's an hour before bed, and you're sipping a warm cup of herbal tea, chamomile's my go-to. The TV's off, the lights are dim, and maybe you're listening to some soft music or just enjoying the quiet. That's your signal to your brain that it's time to slow down. My friend Betty, she's 70, and she started doing this after years of staying up late watching reruns. Now she says she falls asleep faster and wakes up feeling like she's actually rested. She even remembers her dreams again. How fun is that? If you're someone who struggles to nod off, don't worry, we've got some tricks up our sleeve. Keep your bedroom cool and comfy. Around 65 degrees is perfect if you can swing it. And try to stick to a regular bedtime, even on weekends. Your brain loves routine, it's like training it to know when to shut off the lights upstairs. Oh, and if you're a napper, that's fine, just keep it short, maybe 20 or 30 minutes, and not too late in the day. I used to nap for an hour in the afternoon, and then I'd be wide awake at midnight. Cutting it back made all the difference. What's your sleep setup like? Do you have a little evening habit that helps you drift off? I'd love to know what works for you, because we're all figuring this out together. And here's a little nudge: watch the caffeine after lunch. I know that afternoon coffee feels like a pick-me-up, but it can sneak up on you and keep you wired when you don't want it to. Swap it for something decaf or even just a glass of water. You'll still get that break without 18, you'll feel good doing it. It's all about making this a natural flow, so you're not just piling on advice, you're weaving it into our chat like we're sitting across from each other. Speaking of feeling good, let's keep that energy up as we slide into the fourth habit, because it's all about keeping your mind engaged and active, something you're already doing just by being here with me. Now, this last habit is one of my favorites, because it's less about work and more about fun, keeping your brain busy with things you enjoy. After 65, it's easy to fall into a rut, doing the same old things day after day. But shaking things up a bit, challenging your mind, can do wonders for keeping dementia at arm's length. See, when you try new stuff or flex those mental muscles, you're building what the experts call cognitive reserve. It's like a savings account for your brain: the more you put in now, the more it can draw on later to stay strong. So, what does this look like? It could be as simple as picking up a puzzle, crosswords, Sudoku, even a jigsaw if you're feeling crafty. Or maybe you've always wanted to learn something new, like how to play a card game or speak a few words in another language. I've got a buddy, Jim, who's 67, and he started doing online trivia quizzes with his grandkids. He says it's a blast, and he's proud as can be when he beats them at history questions. It's not about being perfect, it's about giving your brain a little workout, just like you do with your body. Don't feel like you need to go big either. Even small things count. Read a book you've never tried before, maybe a mystery or a light romance. Or how about cooking a new recipe? Following the steps keeps your mind on its toes, plus you get a tasty reward at the end. If you're social, chat with a friend about something you saw on the news. Those conversations spark all kinds of connections in your head. The beauty of this is you can tailor it to what you love. What's something you've always wanted to try, or maybe used to enjoy but haven't done in a while? Start there. It's like opening a door to a sharper, happier you. Now that we've covered moving your body, feeding your brain, getting solid sleep, and keeping your mind active, you've got a toolbox full of habits to start today. It's not about doing everything at once, just pick one that feels right and build from there. Maybe tomorrow you'll take that walk, or swap your evening snack for some almonds. Small steps, big wins. Let's keep this going and see how these little changes light up your days ahead. Alright, here we are, chatting away like old friends, and I'm so glad you're sticking with me as we explore these simple, everyday ways to keep your brain sharp and dementia out of the picture. We've already talked about how moving your body gets that blood flowing to your head, and how feeding your brain the good stuff, like those juicy berries or crunchy nuts, keeps it humming along. Then there's sleep, that glorious reset button that cleans up your mind while you're dreaming of something sweet. And now, we're diving into keeping your mind busy with things that light you up: puzzles, new recipes, whatever gets those gears turning. It's all coming together, isn't it? Like pieces of a puzzle that fit just right, making you feel stronger and more in control every day. Let's keep that energy flowing, because these habits aren't just about dodging dementia, they're about living your best life right now. Picture yourself waking up tomorrow, feeling a little more awake, a little more ready to take on the day. Maybe you're lacing up your shoes for a quick walk, or pouring a glass of water to go with your breakfast. It's not about turning your whole world upside down, it's about sprinkling in these little moments that add up to something big. And the best part? You don't need to be a scientist or a fitness guru to make it work. This is stuff you can do in your own home, on your own terms, at your own pace. Now, let's zoom in on that sleep piece for just a second, because I bet some of you are thinking, okay, 7 or 8 hours sounds great, but how do I actually get there? Life's full of curveballs, maybe the dog's barking, or your mind's racing about something from years ago. It happens to me too. One night, I couldn't stop replaying a conversation I had at the grocery store. Silly, right? But there's a trick I picked up that might help you too. Try this. before you hit the pillow, jot down a quick note about anything buzzing in your head. Could be a to-do for tomorrow or just a random thought. Getting it out of your brain and onto paper is like telling your mind, okay, you're off duty now. My sister swears by this. She keeps a little notepad right by her bed, and she says it's cut her tossing and turning time in half. And if your sleep's still playing hard to get, think about what's around you. Is your room a cozy haven, or is it a bit chaotic? I used to have a clock with those big, glowing numbers staring at me all night. Every time I woke up, I'd count how many hours I had left and stress myself out more. Switching to a soft, dark curtain and ditching that clock made a world of difference. Little tweaks like that can turn your bedroom into a sleep sanctuary. What's one thing you could change tonight to make your sleep spot a little more inviting? Maybe it's fluffing that pillow just right or cracking the window for a breeze. You deserve that rest. It's your brain's time to shine behind the scenes. Now, while we're on this roll of feeling good, let's circle back to that idea of keeping your mind active, because it's such a fun one to play with. You don't have to be a genius or a scholar. This is about what sparks joy for you. Maybe you're someone who loves a good story. Why not grab a book from the library, something light and easy, like a tale about a small-town adventure? Or if you're handy, how about tinkering with something small, fixing a squeaky drawer or planting a few herbs in a pot? It's not about the result, it's about the doing. My cousin Ed, he's 69, and he started messing around with model trains again, something he loved as a kid. He says it's like a workout for his brain, figuring out the tracks and fiddling with the tiny parts. Plus, he's got a great story to tell at family dinners now. And here's the thing, you can mix this with the other habits too. Take that walk we talked about earlier, bring along a friend and chat about something new. You're moving your body and your mind at the same time, double win. Or while you're munching on those walnuts, flip through a magazine or listen to a podcast about something you're curious about. It's like layering these habits so they fit together naturally, no pressure, no fuss. What's one little thing you could try tomorrow to give your brain a fun nudge? Maybe it's calling up a buddy to swap stories or pulling out that dusty deck of cards for a quick game. Whatever it is, it's yours to enjoy. So, here we are, with movement, good food, sleep, and an active mind all working together like a team. It's not about perfection, it's about starting where you are. Maybe you're thinking, I'll try that walk tomorrow, or I've got some tea I could sip tonight. That's the spirit. These are your tools, your way to keep dementia on the sidelines while you keep living life to the fullest. Let's wrap this up with a big, warm hug of encouragement, because you've got this, and I'm cheering you on every step of the way.